Welcome back to Inside the Idaho Vandals with Jason Gesser. I'm Dennis Patchen. You mentioned it in the first segment, the final home game as a senior. Is it that big a deal, or is it, because guys will say, it's just another game? Are they lying to us?
Oh, they're lying. No doubt they're lying. I've been there, gone through it. This is your place. Whether you've been here for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. This is your home. This is your home field. And your family's gonna come out and watch. It's gonna be the last time you're gonna be able to step on this field and strap it up and play in a game where lights are on, fans are here. And that means a lot. That means a lot to a player. That means a lot to a coach and a coaching staff. Same thing for us this game. This may be the last game. I mean, for our staff that's been here for 5, 6 years, guys that have been here 5, 6 years, this may be the last time they're here at home coaching a Vandal game. And so this means a lot to a lot of us, you know, and especially the players. And when you have that all kind of culminating to the end of the season, to the end of your career, to the end of the last time possibly you're strapping up your pads, things like that, things get emotional, and you want to do whatever you can to win that game. And that's definitely what we're going to be doing on Saturday. It's
not the last game. There's a road game after. Does that take away from it? Is it different if you know you still have one more game to play?
It is a little different in that respect, but at the same time, you know you're not going to be here again. You know you're not going to be in front of your fans again, and that means a lot. And so I don't think it takes away a tremendous amount, but it does make a big difference. Of it's your last home game. If it's the last game of your season, that pushes it all to a big pinnacle.
Right.
But being that we have one more, it takes a fizzle out of it a little bit, but not as much as you may think.
You were a great player at Washington State and played
in. Thanks, I appreciate that.
No, it's not stuff I'm saying. Other people said it about you. I don't know. The jury's still out. I'm still trying to make a decision.
I don't know what's going on.
You played in a senior game as a senior, obviously, but you played in one as an underclassman.
Yep.
Are there pressures on sophomores, juniors, freshmen who are playing in those games because they're trying to win that game for that guy that's been here, that was the guy that put their arm around him when they first got here?
Yeah, no doubt. I can very vividly remember playing in those games at the end of the season and wanting to do everything I possibly can to win that game for those seniors. You know, junior year down in our last game of the season was at the Sun Bowl, and you know, didn't play the best game of my career, but we somehow, some way ended up winning that game. And I remember it was like early in the fourth quarter, we're going down to late third or fourth quarter, we're going down to score, and I throw a pick in the end zone, and I'm just like, oh man. And it wasn't for me, it was for those guys, because they've done so much for the program. They've helped you out so much. You don't want to let them down. And when you're an ultimate team and you're successful, that's when it all drives each other. Now, as you get to that spot, you don't ever want to disrespect and be like, well, this senior class didn't really help me out, so why do I care about these guys? Well, when you're in their shoes, you better think about it that same way. You better help guys out along the way so they don't think about you that way, first off. Second off is you're going to one day have that situation. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's the biggest thing that these young guys put pressure on themselves to go out there and perform for those guys.
Physical preparation is usually the same every week, but when you've got those hurdles, is there a different mental preparation to this weekend's game because it is that senior game?
No, not really. You prepare a little differently in the fact of how we traveled this last week, the timing that we got back home, how late it was, also along with where you are in the season, how late things are, guys banged up, preparation in that respect. But as far as something different because it's your last senior game, no. So
Texas San Antonio, what problems do they present?
They're a pretty good offense. They got a pretty good offense. They're averaging about 30 points a game. They're right around 370, 375 yards a game. They're doing some pretty good things offensively. Defensively, you know, they're not the most stout crew, but they are a bend but don't break defense. They know their offense goes out there and puts up points. So they're not going to allow a big play for you. So we've got to create some big plays for us, and we've got to try and do some things to get that ball in the end zone, get points on the board, and match their scores. Usually at home, our defense does a great job of kind of rising to the occasion and doing some great things of stopping guys and shutting guys down. And I think that they're going to be ready, and that'll be the case for this week, because you're going to see a lot of, we talked about earlier, seniors on their last home night, and that is with a lot of guys on defense. You'll see that. And so they're going to want to show out. They're going to want to turn it up and play as much as they can and get a victory.
You talked about their offense being pretty successful, pretty potent. Is it imperative then that you stay on the field with your offense, maybe to help your defense out and basically keep those guys off the field?
Every game, that's what you try to do. I mean, you try to get first downs, you try to get plays, you continue to move the ball down the field. You always want your offense to stay on the field, because obviously it creates more opportunity for you to put points on the board. And at the same time, in the same respect, it eliminates time for them to put points on the board. And so that's something that we need to do. I thought we did a decent job at it last week. But we need to do a better job of it this week, of converting on those third downs, you know, and making those plays to where we are keeping that defense off the field.
My guess is, though, you'd be okay with one-play drives if you scored 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Oh, no doubt at all. No doubt at all. If there's 42 up there,
yeah.
If there's 42 and 47 and all that kind of stuff, and there's still about a whole quarter left to be played,
yeah.
And that's what we're scoring, I have no problem with that at all.
Okay, I thought you might be. I thought you might be good with that. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for always having me.
That's Jason Gesser, and we'll be back with him next week. When we come back, a milestone win in the Idaho volleyball program, and the men and the women were on the basketball floor for the first time. We'll have all those stories when we come back on this week's Inside the Idaho Vandals.